Hey, what's going on? We are back. We are now into the week 3 of the draft jam. I think I said this either last video or the one before, but another whirlwind week, so we do what we could. I think I'm just gonna just assume that I haven't had as much time as I would like, because it seems like now that we're nearing the end of the year, that's just how it goes. So yeah, right now we're 2-0, and we're looking to keep that going. Obviously, staying undefeated as long as we can. We're playing GentlemanThomas. And I'll just start reading the Pokemon. He's got Tornadus T, Gouging Fire, Terra Ogerpon, Fortress, Ursaluna-Bloodmoon, Terra Manaphy, Overquill, Weezing G, Azulf, and Cobalion. Looking at this matchup, when I first looked at it, I thought it was actually quite difficult because, like, in theory, there are multiple Pokemon that I don't want to say like I have no check or no switching for, but they do require, I don't know if a bit of creativity is the right word. I guess to use an example, like when you look at Tornadus, in theory, if you go like Slowking G and you're like Max Spadef, in theory, like you're always going to live 1+2 Hurricane, but there's a lot of risk here because there's a potential, obviously, for coverage with Dark Pulse, and then that could flinch. There's also, like, you have to be at full, pretty much. For the most part. It also, that takes Galarian King away from checking other things. You also have to consider if he doesn't plot, if he U-turns, what can he use to capitalize on me always going Slowking. If you look at his team, he has multiple Pokemon that do that. So, it's not that you can't look in a vacuum and say, do I have Pokemon that beat Gouging Fire? Do I have Pokemon that beat Blood Moon? Do I have Pokemon that beat Torn? It's not that you can't look at it that way, but it's a bit more complicated than that. But after the building and after the mocks, whatnot, we have put together a team that I think is very strong and does handle things quite well in the end. So when it comes to Tornadus, obviously the concern is I can come in pretty safely on Ting-Lu unless I'm literally Stone Edge. If that's the case, and you get a fairly uncontested Nasty Plot, and then of course there's a chance for U-turn, I guess. Doesn't have to be. Then, like, when you look at the checks that I might have, I have the Bronzong, but Bronzong is never coming back with anything, so I'm going to have to give up that Nasty Plot and then take 2. Bronzong is not really well positioned to do that. Also, the cost of bringing Bronzong is quite high if you just look like versus like the several Pokemon that that can be very good against it. In another case, like there's Thundurus, which doesn't have a great matchup here at all. So if I brought it, it would just be to pivot in on Hurricane, and then take a +2 hit and then attack back. If not, like for him to just switch into something else, I could see a world where he brings a team that's weak to Thundurus. But in principle, like from my point of view as I'm building, I don't think his team is that Thundurus weak. The big guy that makes me think that is like a Boots bulky Gouging Fire. There's really nothing in the tank that Thundurus has for that. And I mean, Gouging Fire is really not good against me in this matchup, but there is that. There's also the fact that like Ogerpon does always outspeed. I guess getting a T-Wave off like would be cool, but taking a Cudgel in the process, he probably doesn't stay in the first place. But also like the fact that Manaphy could be something that's gonna shrug off or beat Thundurus. So yeah, like when you do Thundurus, it's like it's a Pokemon that doesn't have a great offensive matchup, isn't that fat, so Torn certainly still leaves a dent in it. So like it's only a short-term band-aid for Torn. Cyclizar is the same speed, doesn't KO with anything. Kyurem has to be Scarf, otherwise it doesn't check it. And if it's not Scarf, and it's not, or if it's Scarf and it's not Boots, which is something to consider with rocks. Annihilate, basically in theory, has to be a Terror type that will resist flying. So that limits our options because you can't just be Steel and call it a day either. There's a potential for Focus Blast or Heat Wave or whatever. Yeah, I mean Enamorus is a similar boat. So. Yeah, we're gonna have to get creative when we check Torn. It's not that we can't do it, but we are gonna have to take into account that we either get creative and/or whatever decisions we make to check Torn are gonna come with trade-offs that we have to be mindful of. Gouging Fire is pretty bad here. Ting-Lu always beats it. Well, I don't want to say literally always, but Ting-Lu is a very reliable check to it. It's never going to leave the exchange with Ting-Lu, especially if it's Helmet, without taking a lot of damage. The same is true for Azumarill. It really doesn't get any move in the tank for Azumarill other than the very weak Thunderfang. So a set like that is going to prevent Gouging Fire from... Like, either of these Pokemon, it's hard for Gouging Fire to just fly clicking any attack. in the first place. Like every attack has a really reliable switch in. You can DD and then you can attack twice, but it's not gonna to KO Azumarill or Tinglu. So you just take 2 helmets, then you take whatever attack that they go for on top of that. So I think the matchup is extremely hostile to the Gouging Fire. Let me think. Yeah. Also, Kyurem like outspeeds it too, so there's that. If I'm Scarf Kyurem and he DDs, like there's always going to be a check. If he doesn't DD, then I just outspeed normally. And then of course the Annihilate, as always. Annihilate is weird because like you don't play it as a trade mod when you're the Annihilate user, but when you're prepping against the Annihilate, it's like you can never, like every Pokemon is in theory on like vulnerable to not beating Annihilate, depending on what the Annihilate user brings. So Gouging Fire also has to contend with, on top of all the things that I said, that if I'm an Annihilate, like a Terra type, that it's not going to immediately break through, then like, well, the Gouging Fire is going to be out of commission by that too. So very hostile Gouging Fire matchup. I think like just by its raw power and the fact they took it in the second round, it's always possible that it could come. But if it does, I would consider that a gift. Ogerpon Teal. This is just a really good Terra, just as a matter of fact. But my team is very good into it. There is a Cyclozar, which forces Play Rough. Otherwise, I think if I was like max Fizz Def, I could avoid 2 KO. That might even be wrong. It's certainly wrong if he's banded, but there is a Grass Resist. And there's also G-King, which definitely beats it. It has to Play Rough to take Kyurem. Kyurem will always eat 1. Same deal as I said before for Annihilate. There's also the Slitherwing that's always going to be able to check it with First Impression. So it's never gonna. This isn't gonna be a case where like it SDs and then I'm like have my hands full. In theory, like from his point of view, the Slitherwing is always there to keep it from going too hard. Sapsip or Azumarill can come again. This is the second week in a row that we're facing like a premier offensive like Grass type Wall Breaker, which is generally a very rare archetype of Pokemon. We haven't really seen many of those since Kartana, like in terms of relevant Pokemon. But it happens to be the case that we face a Rillaboom, which like goes for 7 or 8 points these days, and then Ogerpon. So yeah, I mean, Sap Sipper's back on the menu, but if it is, it'll probably be the last time. If I were to guess. Fortress sucks. I don't really have to get into that. I don't have like a Fortress weak team. I have removal. I have the option to be boots to everything. We all know what a Fortress does. I think Bloodmoon is the Pokemon I'm most worried about. Not that like, oh, how will I ever beat it? But I think there's a very high, potential for him to win a 2-for-1 against me. Where like if he's the right item, if he's Chople versus say Annihilate, or if he's Yachi against Kyurem. There's also a world where AV handles the latter thing, but there's like a very real possibility that depending on like the right prep from his end and the right circumstance could make him like I try and trade, like I attack him and he attacks me and then we both go down in theory. There's a way where like I attack him, he's the right resist berry, kills me, and then gets another one for me to as I try to take him down with something else. So I think Bloodmoon has like a very high likelihood of getting a lot of value here. That doesn't mean that it's like amazing here in terms of like it's going to run through my team in the way that like, you know, you might think with like a CM set. That's really the only setup it gets. But my team is like fairly good into CM. So yeah, I'm more worried about like early game Bloodmoon than like, you know, WinCon Bloodmoon, if that makes sense. Manaphy is probably like the other main thing to think of. Not because I'm terribly worried about Manaphy, but if I were to look at his team and think like what's the path to win, it's probably going to be through like being the right defensive Terra type, Tail Glow, and like +3 hit stuff hard, while not being that easy to KO back. That's probably like the most obvious, you know, visible win path from his point of view, if I were to guess. So there's that. When I think about Terra types, you are going to want a Terra that probably beats, I don't know if it has to beat G-King, but I certainly don't think you're going to want to like just outright lose to it. There is like Take Heart will at least boost your Spadef if you're trying to do that. But you're going to want to be able to eat Freeze Dry from Kyurem. You're not going to want to get smacked by T-Bolt from Thundurus, and you're probably going to want to be able to break potentially the Slowking G, potentially or preferably without it getting parried either. So with that in mind, like that kind of limits our options here because you can't beat Ground, which would beat Thundurus and probably beat Slowking. I'm not sure. This is actually kind of difficult. He probably wouldn't be dark. Fairy, I don't know. I guess, it's hard to say. I guess I'm going to leave it open-ended in terms of like what Terra he could be. I don't immediately see like any one option that's like obviously better than the others. But generally speaking, I expect him to use Mana Feet in the way that I described. Overquill comes in pretty safely on the Slow King, but I do have a lot of good checks to it. He also has to be wary of like being Intimidate versus Defiant Annihilate. That's like very scary from his point of view. Also in general, like my offense hits it pretty hard. Obviously not the Slow King, like I said, but it's not like you can just easily bring an Overquill and not worry about the consequences of Thunderous, of Curum, of Annihilate, like I said. Enamorous Moonblast actually 2 KO with max HP if I was like just a simple, modest like offensive set. So there's that. The G King, not a Pokemon I'm worried about. It will effectively wall Tinglu, maybe be able to defog any hazards that I set up. But it is weak to my Slow King. Curum does 2 KO non-specially defensive, and of course it's always gonna live, the hit back. So I could in theory like just stay in if I was really worried about it. It will check Annihilate if I don't specifically tailor my Annihilate to not get checked by it. Thunderous always beats it. It does counter Slitherwing very hard. Pretty good against Azumarill as well. Enamorous can beat it. Bronzong certainly beats it. Azelf is just like, we all know. It's another one of those like fortress-like Pokemon. We all know what an Azelf does. We are talking about like Suicide Sash type of Rocks lead, if not like offensive Vortex Orb, and if not that, then like maybe a Nasty Plot set. I do have Pokemon that are pretty good into the Azelf. It's not going to be getting the better of Slowking probably. Tinglu is going to live probably multiple from it. It's never going to OHKO Annihilate. In fact, if I max Def, it's not 2 KOing Annihilate pretty much ever. Basically, any offensive Pokemon I have hits it very hard, like for well over half. Some of these guys even OHKO. Slitherwing, same idea as Overpawn. Like you have to contend with that first impression is always an option, particularly after Sash is popped. And Cobalion is bad. So that is how I roughly assess his team. So we're gonna go ahead and get into my team. I did build something quite, I don't want to say out there. Like it's not like the things don't make sense, but I would say this is one of my more heat builds. And the reason I kind of went this way is at first I thought like, man, this match is actually pretty hard. I got to be kind of out of the box, a bit creative, with specific respect to like when you look at this matchup, like it's not obvious what win con is gonna like prevail under the largest amount of situations in terms of like what my opponent can do or what my opponent can bring. So that's sort of what justifies like some of my win cons. It's like they're kind of out there, but they're meant to cover a lot of like things, if that makes sense. So I'm actually going to start with the Annihilate before the Enamorous on top because this is going to be my lead in essentially all situations. This is Terra Fire. Like I had said, we are going to have to bring a set that Weezing isn't just going to immediately counter. And right off the bat, that kind of limits your options. That kind of limits you to Steel or Fire or... I guess Psychic is like a worse version of Steel that you could consider. But the main thing is you want to be able to hit it super effectively, because if not, like you don't even do close to half to it. It would be nice to hit super effectively with, or be able to hit it, period, with Terra Blast, because it's non-contact, so you're not getting helmet damage. And then in the most preferable case, you want to avoid Wisp, which would require we be Fire like I am, or you pack Taunt, or or Lum, I guess. I think like Lum Steel, Lum Psychic, I guess could work in that respect. But in this case, I opted for Fire. But if you look at his team as well, there are a lot of Pokemon that Fire is like a really less than ideal like defensive type. Like the Gouging Fire is not going to be able to hit it very well. Ogerpon is not going to hit it very well. Weezing can't burn it. It's going to immediately get a strong, super effective hit on Fortress. It does get Fire Punch, but usually, like if not for being Fire, it's rare that Annihilate actually even carries Fire coverage in the first place. So yeah, there's a lot to like in terms of Fire. It is a Pokemon that I'm going to want to use early because I have no removal, and it's not going to be Boots. So this is like the type of set that you lead and you immediately start cooking with. But the main thing is, like, yeah, a lot of leads, it's not going to be able to hit very hard. If he's Overquill lead, he's going to immediately pop my Defiant. Assuming he's Intimidate rather than something else. If he's Ogre Pawn, he's immediately threatened. Tornadus T doesn't 2 a KO, so that's immediately threatened, especially when it's like turn 1 and he doesn't even really know what I am. Versus Bloodmoon, I wouldn't Terror in the first place because he can Earth Power, but like I will live Bloodmoon into, you know, an attack in every situation. The main interaction that's going to be interesting is when I lead this versus what I expect to be like a Tornadus lead, and then he goes into Manaphy, which is obviously a water type, obviously super effective on fire. That's why I have Sunny Day. So like the plan would be bulk up bulk up turn 1 on most things. Thinking he'll go Manaphy. He may think he immediately forces me out, or he might just attack me right away. In either case, I'm like very especially defensive, as you can see. So I go for Sunny Day. If he attacks right away, then like I easily live a Surf, pops my policy, and I'm +3. And then the Sunny Day goes up. The next Surf is not even close to taking me out. So my +3 drain, I'll get a ton of health back, do a ton of damage, and it'll be very hard to stop. If he were to Tail Glow, it's essentially the same situation. The sun goes up, and then he hits me. I still live with a special defense investment. It does under, I want to say under 81.8, I think. I don't have the calc off the top of my head. But yeah, like I'm always living the Surf, so my policy pops. I'm at +3 with the sun up. That's why I'm gonna live a hit. And then I drain, get it all back, hit him really hard, and now like I'm in really good shape. So Sunny Day is really like a part of the sequence to get me a safe weakness policy against the only thing that could really check me otherwise. That's kind of the idea. It's also the case that if Tornadus is Hurricane, then its accuracy is halved, so it's gonna be hard for Tornadus to just beat me, period. The attack investment I have is so that no bulk Torn dies to +1 Terror Blast in the sun. So like if I bulk up as he either goes hard Torn or clicks whatever attack, like max special attack Timid Hurricane only does like 35 to me or 37. So like I'm always gonna be able to comfortably live that first hit. I bulk up, Sunny Day goes up, and now like he's gonna have a hard time hitting me, and I'm going to literally one-shot him. So that's why this set is here. It's pretty strong, and you know, as a proof of concept, like a lot of mocks I did, this worked pretty much how it was intended to in essentially every case. That's not a given that it will work in every case. I can imagine certain ways that, you know, Thomas could play out of this, but if he's not expecting it, there's like really high upside and high probability that it'll work. After we burn the Annihilate and hopefully kill as many as we can, hopefully that's 2, at least 2 rather. I mean, if it's more, even better. Then the next item on the agenda is to start thinking about how we're going to get Enamorus in there. There are a lot of Pokemon here, Pokemon that you would conventionally think would check Enamorus, that hit it super effectively, we very easily live, and then we hit a lot of things really hard. So if you look, it's like Overquill's a big one, Weezing's a big one. To a lesser degree, there are guys like Manaphy that might have Ice Beam. There's Fortress, which Fortress Steel move does not actually do that much. Even though I'm pretty speedy, I think Gyro only does like high 40s. It might do half, but pretty comfortable. Obviously, we don't have a move to hit Fortress, but he doesn't know that, and that's something he's got to worry about. Azelf also could technically get like an ice move. Cobalion has Iron Head, which doesn't actually do that much because it is so weak. And then of course, like in any case that I listed a physical attack there is the situation where like I can Iron Defense as they switch, or I Agility, and then I Iron Defense first because I'm faster. But yeah, there are a lot of ways to foresee how this could get many more kills after the Annihilate, or even just win. And in fact, there were many mocks where it did just win in events where Fortress didn't come or was KO'd altogether. Because like, if you do get the policy off successfully, the healing from Draining Kiss is just like really difficult, is basically it. That being said, of all the Pokemon that can hit this super effectively, some are definitely better than others, which is why I'm Terra Ground. The thing is, like, the Terra Ground that I pick actually doesn't matter because I plan on going Annihilate and Terraring right away. So he's not actually going to... In practice, he's actually not going to care what Terra type my Enamorus is when the time comes. But the idea is, like, there are certain Pokemon that I would rather try and switch on Enamorus than, say, Overquill, because Overquill's Gunk Shot, even with a +2 Iron Defense, still does quite a lot. But like instead, like an Ogre Pawn thinks it's going to hit ground super effectively, is like a prime candidate. Weezing, the Sludge Bomb only does like mid to high 50s, so that's a really good candidate, and I Psychic KO back. So yeah, like there are definitely things I prefer. So like I guess this is like this could be relevant in the event that like I lead Annihilate, something unforeseen happens, I don't like what I see, and I don't Terra. I swap an Immorus, like I guess, but I guess I'm just trying to tell you the justification for why I chose ground. Among a bunch of Terra types that don't matter, that was the best. But the speed, after an agility, I'll speed Torn. This Draining Kiss always 2k max HP Overquill. After Policy pops, so I'm always going to be out of range of that second gunk shot. Then the rest in HP, which accomplishes the calc that I just said. So now it's Slowking. Of the mechanisms that I listed to check Torn and the various plays and pairs and sequences that I can have, I decided to go the G-King route. That is, you can see like it's especially defensive, but also has a lot of speed. It does outspeed the Bloodmoon, and Grass Knot does a lot. I think it does. I think this also does like high 50s, low 60s. I do always live in Earth Power from it, so like if Bloodmoon's like really cooking me, or I'm in a really bad spot, like G-King with enough damage like will be able to come in, outspeed Grass Knot and kill in like a lot of situations. And the Spadef is still enough to check Nasty Plot Torn. As for the attacks, the idea here isn't that like, oh, I'm going to be the G-King that has coverage for everything, and then every swap is something that I can punish. The main reason to not do it this way is that if he brings Overquill, there is no move that Slowking gets for Overquill. So I could pack, the Ice Beam for the Torn and the Ogre Pawn and whatever for this, but it's not going to be worth it if he goes Overquill. Then I have a move for nothing, right? So Psychic hits the greatest number of things. It hits the G-King super effectively as well, so like that's probably the most mileage I'm going to get out of anything. The Grass Knot hits the Ursaluna, versus mostly everything else. The passive clicks that are best are like Chilly Reception, obviously, that's always a good one, and then also Thunderwave. Thunderwave is also like the best move period that Slowking has to check Torn. If it's like Nasty Plotting, like Thunderwave is going to get you more than even Ice Beaming. Just because Ice Beam is never going to kill. It does like 68 at best. With a no bulk Torn, that's probably like around what it is. But even then, like that calc, I'm just head calcing it, but I'm no special attack, so it might even be worse than that. But yeah, T-Wave's like the best thing there. But yeah, that's the idea. I mean, Slowking pretty much won't really see much action outside of coming in on Torn directly. If he U-turns, there aren't many swaps for Slowking off the U-turn other than Overquill itself, and it'll probably just throw a spike up. I do have many good switch-ins to Poison Dark, particularly the Tinglu, obviously, but Annihilate as well. So yeah, that's the justification for the Slowking. Now we have Zoomerl, another Sap Sipper bot, pretty much in the same spirit as the Rhythm Check that we used last week. This is another, mostly Fizz Def. We got some special attack. The Ice Beam 2 KOs Overpawn after rocks. Not that I really expect to click this that much, but yeah, basically like if I don't bring this, then if I'm using Slowking for Tornadus, then I'm really like my other option is if I run Slitherwing, and I'm not running Slitherwing because there's a G-King, because there's a Gouging Fire, because there's a Torn. So if I'm not doing either of those things to check the Ogre Pawn, then like Sap Sipper Oz is really all we have to work with. That's what we have to do. So yeah, mostly this is just like to keep it at bay, I guess. Perish Song also is like, if I Perish Song on Switch, or like when I come in on Ogre Pawn, that allows that, like the fact that I have very terrible offenses, if I Perish Song, like nobody's going to start setting up on me, right? Like Manaphy's not going to start, tail glowing, knowing that it's only has a couple turns left, right? So that's basically the idea, is like just keep Ogre Pawn at bay while I deal with other guys. Ice Beam technically gives me a tool to beat it. Perish Song technically gives me a tool to beat it, but I don't expect it to actually play out that way for obvious reasons. But yeah, like the Ice Beam to it goes after rocks. The speed is also for Bloodmoon. You'll see like Tinglu also covers Bloodmoon, Azumarill covers Bloodmoon, Slowking covers Bloodmoon. So yeah. So now we get to Tinglu. This is the first switch on Bloodmoon. It's faster than Bloodmoon, so it can taunt and Ruination. It's going to be hard for Tinglu in the process of like taking all the damage that it will from Bloodmoon to stop CM. It's going to be hard for it to like really beat it. But if I can taunt, keep it low, limit the number of times it can Calm Mind, limit the number of times it can heal, then it'll certainly be low enough for something else to check it, like the Kyurem or the Slowking or whatever it is that I have alive to do it. So that's like really the idea. This attack, what is this attack for? I think this attack 2-hit KO is Gouging Fire always. And then the Spadef is just so, I don't remember the calc offhand, but it was like, you know, Citrus, Blood Moon, Hyper Voice, like living that after rocks or spikes, or it was something like that. But this is like the only bulk that I needed, especially defensive wise. It's like actually useful for what I'm going to use this for, something like that. And then yeah, we have the speed, which I already mentioned. So this, yeah, that's all explained. Fairly straightforward, easy to understand. Next we have Kyurem, Scarf Kyurem, also a returning set from last week. Scarf Kyurem is really good. If the Fortress either doesn't come or is dead, then I mean we also expect that the Manaphy will probably tear it out of water. So the chances of us playing late game with no ice resist are very high. So I think Scarf Kyurem could be very good. Ogerpon's always going to outspeed it, so there is that. But Ogerpon can never kill us. So we can always like live a hit, KO back, and then the Gouging Fire is not going to outspeed. It's going to have to take an Ice Beam. It's not really going to want to. If he's bulky, I don't think it does 1/2, or maybe it does around half. But Torn obviously will get exploded. Bloodmoon will get exploded. Manaphy obviously won't get to a KO, but it'll take a chunk. Overquill takes a lot. So yeah, like I think it's just another matchup where Scarf Kyurem is really good. The speed just covers max speed. Gouging Fire, so like if he did drag, let's say I wasn't in a bad spot where like Tinglu is low or down because of Blood Moon, Azumarill's dead or something, then like the Scarf Kyurem is still going to be there to beat the Dragon Dance. Gouging Fire, you know, come in, outspeed it, Draco Meteor, and drop it. I don't think like being like the absolute maximum special attack possible or necessary is going to factor much in the effectiveness of Scarf in this matchup. So yeah, that's everything. So hopefully I explained everything right. I always have trouble like remembering the very fine details of like my EVs and stuff when it comes time to do the team builder, but you generally get the idea of the functionality of the set or the team, and that's really all that matters. So yep, we're gonna go ahead and get to the battle, so I'll see you in a second. So we have Fairy, Manaphy, and Ogerpon, which is obviously grass, but both Terra guys came, which is cool. Let's see. Searching. Okay, we found him. Here we go. Good luck, or rather good games, to Thomas. So we have the Torn, Azelf, Ogerpon, Manaphy. So we have the Azelf. Oops, I'm holding the wrong pen. Azelf. We have the Fortress. And we have the Wheezing G. The Ursaluna didn't come, which is fantastic. In any case, we're always leading Annihilate, and in the meantime, I'm gonna look up what didn't come. The Gouging Fire didn't come either, which is really nice. So I mean, Gouging Fire, I'm never afraid of. I don't respect that Pokemon at all, but it makes my life easier. The Overquill didn't come either, so Enamorous is looking very dangerous now. We did not end up packing a Fire move on the Enamorous, so we don't have a hit for the Fortress, but it'll most likely be able to pop our weakness policy because there's never going to be an attack that's going to hit us very hard. Like even if we agility, the Gyro will hurt, but we Iron Defense. So I think it retained T-Wave this gen, so there's that. So yeah, I think it's really just the Manaphy that's like kind of, I don't want to say troublesome, but that I'm really worried about, or that rather my majority of my focus will be at. So here we go. We're gonna get it going against Thomas. Leading the Annihilate, I expect a Azelf lead or a Tornadus lead. I think either of those are possible. This is a Azelf lead. Okay, that is what I thought. We're gonna tear it right away and bulk up. I don't know if he'll even want to hit me. He might just rock. In Mox, usually this guy would U-turn its Torn. But like he could Psychic. We're gonna eat it plenty well. Let's see. Annihilate. We're gonna see how strong this guy is. I mean, these leads, they usually just want to rock, but he's got to be very worried about the consequences that might come with that. Because like he can rock and I get a bulk up and I'm immediately ahead. Like explosion is a thing, but I'll be +1 defense. So, So I'm going to tear right away. He also knows that Wheezing is not going to be able to check Annihilate in the conventional sense because I'm going to have Terra Blast to hit it without making contact with Helmet, and he can't burn me. So there's that. We're going to tear right away. The Terra Fire looks so cool. So he goes for Protect as I bulk up. Uh-oh. Okay, I got to think about this. He could Encore. Is he teched Encore, though? Teched Encore rocks? I don't know. I feel inclined to say he wouldn't be. But I mean, if he is, then that's just how it goes. So I kind of want a Sunny Day next. I'm going to Sunny Day. We'll see if he Encores. He plots. Okay. So how much is this going to do? +2. Psychic. I'm very especially defensive. Very especially defensive. So this Psychic is not going to 2-hit KO me, fortunately. So I'm actually going to Drain Punch, because he's going to attack me first. And he's almost certainly Sash. We're going to see how much this does. Okay. Are we going to get a 2-hit KO range? Let's see. 403 minus 138. 403 minus 138. We don't. Which is disappointing. Because like I obviously assume that he's Sash. I don't have a great. Oh, the Ursaluna didn't come. Whatever. Ursaluna didn't come. I assume he's gonna have a move for Ting Lu, but that's something I can live with. Let's see. He should Psychic again. And he goes for the Psychic. Okay. I kind of want to rock. Because like the situation is Ursaluna didn't come, so he goes for not. How much is it gonna do? Does this do a lot? Jeez, that did a lot. Okay, that's fine. I get up rocks, and so 455 minus 192. So we actually might barely live this other one. The thing is, like, it doesn't matter. So part of me wants to go hard Cure him as he Grass Knots, and that way I can keep the Ting Lu. This is very aggressive, and it's possible that it'll blow up right in my face. It's very possible that it'll blow up right in my face. We'll see. If he does make this play, then, you know, whatever. I feel like he should just want a Grass Knot, though. Let's see if he gets me. There's a very good chance I might regret this play. A very good chance. So let's see if he Psychics. Does he Psychic? Does he get me? Or he Grass Knots? Okay, good. He Grass Knots. Alright. So that still did a lot. Okay, so fortunately I'm going to Ice Beam. Yeah, I'm just going to Ice Beam. And then, so Azelf is not Psychic Protect. And that looks like he's at like 65. I think he's going to go Fortress. That's what I would think. If he does, I will just go right back to Annihilate, which is fine. And I think I might even go for a Terra Blast. A pretty aggressive Terra Blast. Go color this in. So he swaps. Okay, he's gonna go Fortress. I'm almost certain he's gonna go Fortress. Yep, that's a Fortress-like nickname if I've ever seen one. So I'm gonna go straight back to Annihilate. If he spins, I mean, he's welcome to do that. Any freezers? No freeze? Wow, this game is rigged. Okay. Back to Annihilate. I actually missed. Was that Boots? I mean, I don't think it was. I wasn't paying attention. It ultimately doesn't matter because Sturdy is broken in either case. I expect him to spin here. And then a part of me kind of wants to... I kind of want to bulk up. Goes for Volt Switch. Okay. I wonder Are you gonna go into Manaphy? How much does that do? Manaphy. Go for Surf. If he goes for the Surf and he's like really, if he's like really invested, then the Surf kills me. If he's not invested, then I actually have a decent chance to live. Let's see. The Fortress was at about this amount. Didn't see what it was. Volt. Amazing Overpawn. I think that's all the information I have. So this is Manaphy. Almost certainly this is Manaphy. So if he is like not invested, then this Surf, actually he always drops me with this. So that's something I have to consider. I also think there's like a decent likelihood that he's Yachiberry. There's also a decent chance that he doesn't even have a move to hit me in the first place with a Azumarill. Like he might like in the event he's like Tail Glow, like if he's Tail Glow and then he's Terra Fairy to hit this, he always drops me. Now I'm already kind of in a weird spot. I'm playing my Pokemon out of position. This Azumarill is supposed to be used for Overpawn, so I need to get back. I need to get back to the plan like very fast. So he goes for Take Heart. I am going to Parasong right away. I expect that he's going to want to hit me with something. We'll see what that ends up being. We'll see if a Terra gets forced here. If he should be E-Ball if he has it. That's what I would expect. Otherwise, like he has to pop Terra to hit me. I don't think this thing gets another move. Because he only had +1. Take Heart. Goes for Scald. Okay, interesting. So he's gonna see if he burns me. He does not, which is nice. So I'm gonna go for Parasong. So he knows he's on a timer now. He's only +1. So I do have some swaps that work here. I think I want to go into the Galarian Slowking and then maybe Chilly Reception, or I can T-Wave. There's no ground type, so that's going to... Okay, he swaps right away. So do I. Let's see. Hopefully it's something favorable. This is something else. This is... Okay, this is Weezing. So this ended up working up perfectly for me. Not necessarily in a way that I, anticipated, but it is what it is. The thing is, like when he does see this, thing here. If he goes Azelf, yeah, I think I'm gonna Chilly here. There's a chance that he sacks Azelf. Like, there's a very real chance because he could think that I'm Fire Move, and at which point, like, why go Fortress? Just sack the Azelf. But because I'm not Flamethrower, if he goes Hard Fortress and I like Psychic into that Chilly Reception, I would go Annihilate. He might rock up. So that would be good in the short term because then I would drain, maybe get out of range of like Surf or Manaphy. Like in the short term, I can see how that works. But in the long term, I'm playing with Rock Sub, and I still have my Ooh! Okay, I don't agree with that at all, because he taunted me to stop Chilly Reception. But he would have taken a really big hit for that. Like a part of me wants to go hard, hard Annihilate now. Because he should go Fortress or he should go Azelf, I would think. He doesn't have a move for this. And yeah, he doesn't have a move for this. And if he did, like, what does he click? Let's see, taunt. Like, I expect him to switch here. He's gonna sack Azelf or go Fortress now. Unfortunately, going Annihilate will cover both. Let's see what he does. Yeah, the thing like there's no move that works here for him. So he taunted me to stop chili, but for what? Okay, he swaps first. Let's see. Do we get something good? Do we get something good? This is new gas, by the way. This should be torn. Okay. Mute gas. All right. What percent are we at? I don't know if this kills me. I really don't. I'm also kind of inclined to think that it doesn't. I am at... What am I at? So I'm at 160. If he's just like max timid, like Boots, then I live. The problem is I don't hit him very hard back. Terra Blast will be like a 2-hit, basically. So I'm gonna go back to Slow King. If it was a position where I was able to bulk up on something and then he goes Torn, it's a bit better. But here it's not as good. I expect him to just cane. Let's see, what does he do? He goes for plot. Hard plot? Is this Lumberry? Surely not. Surely not Lumberry. There's an argument to be made that I should have Chili Reception there, but if he's Yachi instead of Lum, then I don't know. If he's Yachi instead of Lum. Yeah, I don't know. Feels like if I so he goes for Dark Pulse. I eat this. No flinch. Okay. Okay. No problem. We're gonna stack the Ting, and then we're gonna go cure him. Oh, okay. Okay. Nasty. Yeah, we're getting bailed out by the fact that the Bloodmoon didn't come. Jeez, how frustrating. Okay. So Dark Pulse, we're gonna eat this. Did my berry pop already? I think it did. I'm gonna Ruination. Man, that was frustrating. Goes for not. All right, not on this. This is gonna take me out. Okay, how frustrating. Grass Knot. I can only assume. That the last move is I can only assume that last move is a flying move. So I'm just gonna Ice Beam here. He almost certainly will go Fortress. He knows I'm Scarf. We'll see if he's Yachi. Yachi is like not a bad bring if you're a Nasty Plot and you're trying to win, because like Scarf does stand in your way. But I mean that's all. If he is Yachi, that's all the more reason why. Okay, so he's not Yachi. He's either Boots or Lum. So we're back to the fortress. It's not Boots. Not Boots. We're getting low here on our friend. He's got to be considering the prospect of getting rocks up. He can Volt Switch. It's very well within reason that he could Volt Switch. It really is. But yeah, it's well within reason that he could Volt Switch. But it's always preferable to do this. Annihilate, we're already kind of on borrowed time. We didn't really get much out of the Azelf at all, which is unfortunate. We're going to see how much this does. He goes for Earthquake. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh, that killed me! No! What is that? No! I'm Policy. Why did that kill me? What is this? Earthquake. Okay. So I was at 162 divided by 403. I was at 40%. Oh, alright, never mind. That could just kill me. Alright, so right now I'm inclined to go into the Enamorous now. I think I just go Enamorous. I don't even have another play. I literally don't have another play. Party wants to just ID. Then I can take the. Then I would take the Steel move. But he could go Manaphy. Yeah, I'm in big trouble right now. Ah, that lead Azelf just plotting. Yeah, that lead Azelf just plotting did not was not good. It was not good. Now the silver lining here is that Kyurem, there is a path for Kyurem to be pretty dangerous. There is, but the writing is somewhat on the wall. We're gonna if we can get some value out of Enamorous here, then we're in pretty good shape. It would be nice if you like Volt Switches. That would be amazing if you Volt Switches. Does he Volt Switch? No, he just Hard Switches. We're gonna see what he goes into here. This could be a Manaphy. Kumquat. I forgot who this is. Ogerpon. Huh. Okay. We're gonna see if this is Encore. In fact, I feel inclined to think that it is Encore. Because like, why would you do this? Yeah, this has to be Encore. This is. I'm telling you, Thomas, right now, this is an all-time terrible play if you're not Encore. I'm giving you respect here by swapping out. I'm giving you respect. Okay, Encore. Encore, Encore, Encore. All right. So you're almost certainly going to swap. You could U-turn. You could U-turn. If you U-turn, you go into a guy who... Man, if you do U-turn, it's not that bad for me. Because then I could Agility. That would be a bit more interesting. What I don't like is the prospect of him going. Yeah, I think actually a better play is Slowking maybe, because it heals me up out of range of +2 Dark Bolts. If I go Enamorous, he could go Torn and just Nasty Plot. These plays are like really uncomfortable. I'm really uncomfortable with these plays. He could knock here. Okay, so he hards out. He goes into the Azel. Okay, so I basically look like the best player in the world right now. In no small part because I'm him. Now you could make the case that if I went Enamorous there, then it was even better. So I think I just Chili here. He can plot if he wants to. He doesn't have a move for me. Goes for Psychic. All right, that's fine. We're gonna eat this. It was a little more than I would have preferred, but you know, whatever. So now we're gonna go back to the Kyurem. It's been a pleasure playing this game without rocks. Dude, if I knew I was gonna get so many chilies off, man, I would have been Blizzard Kyurem. I would have been Blizzard. Alright, so we're gonna go back to Kyurem and we're gonna Ice Beam. It'd be nice if Ice Beam to get a Fortress. I actually think that it does. If it does, we're actually in pretty good shape. In fact, you could justify freeze drying. You could justify that. I actually, like, I'm calcing. The problem is I don't know the percents exactly. So it does look like I have him at like, so freeze dry, he is weak to rocks. Freeze dry. Let's just say he's max Spadef because we're that guy. So 15, 15, 30. Do I think he's at 40% and I get 2 minerals? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna freeze dry. That way, if he goes into the Manaphy, then it benefits me. He could protect to scout what I'm gonna go into. Actually, it doesn't matter. He can see that I'm going freeze dry. It doesn't matter. It'd be cool if he went hard Manaphy though. Okay, this better kill. I swear to God. Okay, we're in business. We dropped the Azelf. All right. The Azelf is down. He's gonna go Fortress now. I don't see how you wouldn't. And when he goes Fortress, what else do I have? The swap is awkward because, because I can't go hard. I can't go hard. What do you call it? I can't go hard Enamorous because the mid ground Steel move is very likely. It's very, very likely. In fact, I think I should pull up Enamorous on my calc because it's almost certain that that's going to be the next calc that I have to do at some point. Enamorous Therian. Okay, Gyro. This Gyro is actually not going to do that much. 0. Gyro actually only does 40 to Enamorous. So, you know, that is interesting. That is something to think about. Another thing, I could go G King, then Enamorous, because like EQing is really stupid here. It hits nothing. Then I would get this thing clean. I could agility on Ogerpon. Then I'm in a lot more dangerous spot. If I go G King, if I go hard G King, let me think. Then I would want. Do I kill? You have to lock me into Kiss after that. Now, this is an interesting spot actually. If I go hard Enamorous and I get +2, I Draining Kiss. Yeah, that won't kill. That actually won't kill. So let's get no EQ. No EQ. This is another perk of this is that we need to heal up this. Oh, he earthquaked. Ah, good play. All right, that's fine. All right, now we're gonna go Enamorous. If he goes for Steel move, then cool. The cool thing about that is it didn't do that much. So this looks to be just max speed F. This does look to be max speed F. I noticed the Ogerpon has not Terra'd, which if he got the speed boost, that would make him outspeed the Enamorous. That was a nice EQ. How annoying. I wonder what he's gonna do now. Let's see, did he Steel move? If he had Steel move, I think I'm just gonna Drain Kiss right away. I think it covers like everything. Goes to the Ice Spinner. Okay, this is even better, I think. Because now I'm gonna Drain Kiss this. And there's not really anything that What matters is I'm out of range. Fortunately for me, I actually don't have to outspeed a bunch of guys for this to do a lot of work. It'd be nice if this killed. I'm pretty sure it doesn't though. But if his move is just gonna be Ice Spinner, then I mean, whatever, right? Yeah, we're gonna see if he even has the gyro in the first place. Let's see. He's also gotta be considering if I'm Fire move. One thing that's gonna get really awkward is if he goes Wheezing, I'm gonna want to consider going for Agility. Okay, does this kill? Ah, it doesn't kill. All right, that's okay. At least Kyurem is going to pick off everything now. That's one way to look at it. Goes for the Volt Switch. Okay. So the thing is, he's gonna go. He's not gonna be able to go into somebody who kills me. This is a tricky situation. So tricky. Yeah, I would say this was. I think I got way too cute in the builder this week. Our chances of winning are still very much alive, but I got way too cute in the builder this week. I thought I was gonna sauce him up. I did. So now it's So this is Wheezing. This is what I was worried about. The Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb will do max 200 if he is not invested. I could Agility, but if I Agility, yeah, I got a Psychic. I gotta hope I'm faster and Psychic. It's Clear Smog. Ah. Good bring. He's so fast, too. That's a really fast Wheezing. That's a very fast Wheezing. If I had agility, because he moved first on me. So if I had agility, I don't know about that. Why he? He's having like a lot of near misses with me right now. He's having a lot of near misses. Like, if I agility, as he clears smog, get rid of my stats, gets rid of the boost, fair enough. I agility, psychic, kill, wheezing. Fortress isn't in range of anything. Fortress is already as good as dead. I guess he would be able to kill me, is the thing. He would be able to kill me. So I think I'm just going to let this go down and then go cure him. I can't afford to go G-King, take like a cane or whatever. So I am just going to Draining Kiss. Goes for Bleak Wind. This almost certainly kills. Okay. So that last move is the Bleak Wind Storm. So now... the question that remains is, does Freeze Dry kill Torn? There's a decent chance that he's literally no bulk Torn. That's like very possible. Freeze Dry doesn't kill, so we have to Ice Beam. This is unfortunate. With respect to the Manaphy, but it is what it is. Actually, he Bleak Wind, so I could actually go G-King and T-Wave because he's Boots. So that T-Wave was AIDS. That was an AIDS T-Wave. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to go G-King because what it's going to allow me to do is I'm going to be able to T-Wave. He's probably going to sack Fortress, T-Wave, and then Rocks and Psychic. Is probably what's going to happen. But, at worst, like, he swaps, goes Fortress. When I swap out, then I will get more health, which is really what matters. That is a superior play to going Kyurem, for sure. Man. The Tornadus is Boots and is Bleak Wind. One thing I'm curious about. So one thing to consider for this endgame is that Bleak Wind actually doesn't kill Kyurem. So there is going to be a moment. Ooh, don't flinch. Oh my god! God damn it! The fuck! Okay. Why? Why would you do that? Why the fuck would you do that? Okay. The thing is, now he can Bleak Wind. $30 So Bleak Wind is a roll. Actually, no, Bleak Wind always kills. This is so bad. Okay. This is so bad. This is so bad. Do I have to let this die? This is awful. This is absolutely awful. Come on, dude. Are you serious? What a fucking joke. Alright. Alright, Kyurem. Kyurem. So I think I Freeze Dry so that he cannot go Manaphy. If he stays and attacks me, then it is what it is. Okay, he swaps. He's gonna sack Fortress. He actually avoided 2 T-Waves. What is that, man? What is that, man? Dude! God! Why? Why? No reason. It's gonna be so much easier. However, let's lock in. We can still win. I'm pretty sure if he plays well, like if he makes every correct play, then it should be in his favor. The worrisome thing for him is that, like, yeah, I think if he Terras, I don't think if he Terras into Fairy, and then just goes for like fairy move. He would kill this. It would at least put me in a position to Ice Beam. I would never to a KO with Ice Beam though, which is annoying. Ice Beam. If I could get, if he goes, what's going on here? He doesn't kill me with anything. He does not kill me with anything. He knows that he lives Freeze Dry, but he doesn't kill me with anything. I live Bleak Wind. Bleak Wind is high 40s, and I am like 60 something. A freeze would be nice. Okay. Goes for Pulse. That is even less than Bleak Wind. Okay, this is interesting. So I guess he gives me Torn, I guess. I mean, why else go into it unless you're gonna give it to me, right? Man, this is a infuriating game. Infuriating game, dude. I guess he Dark Pulses to verify that I'm Scarf, I guess. And then if I'm not Scarf, then he gets a flinch. Alright, so he's gonna give us Torn. We're in a questionable spot here. He's got to pick. Yeah, we're in a really weird spot. Because he has not committed to a Terra yet. Manaphy avoids 2 KO from Freeze Dry. If he's Boots. I could swap. I don't know if I can even Perish Song. Okay. Okay. Why'd you do this? So he must be committing to this Terra. He must be doing it. He must be tearing. He must be tearing, and then he's gonna play rough. That's the only way this makes sense. I don't know why else you would do this. I do move first, so this will reveal whether he's Scarf or not. If he swaps, he probably play roughed. Okay, so he tears this, which means Manaphy will stay weak to the Freeze Dry. So I gotta figure out what's up with that. How much does this do? If you could avoid 2 KO, that would be nice. Goes for, okay, player off and he misses. Alright, that's good for me. Let's see. Knock. He's faster than me, that's the problem. Like, he's definitely faster than me. So I gotta try and kill this, like, I think I just gotta kill this like this. I gotta ice beam it. I don't have to ice beam it. Why? He knows I'm Perish Song, so he goes for play rough. That didn't do anything. Dude, we might win this game. We literally might win this game. So we go for Ice Beam. Okay, he's really low. If he attacks me at all, if he attacks me at all, then he's kind of in trouble, right? Let me think. If I Perish Song and he goes Manaphy, do I care about that? What a weird spot. What a weird spot. Part of me wants to double cure him. What should he do? What should he do? Perish Song, Perish Song, Perish Song. If I Perish Song, I stay in. I would sack. He would have to. Then I go cure him. If I go cure him, he sacks Manaphy, and then it's Azu versus. Yeah, I'm gonna Perish Song. Goes for Encore. Okay. Okay. Okay, so he encores me, so the plan is to go Manaphy and take Heart. He's gonna go Manaphy and take Heart. How do I play this? Because I would go hard. Wait a second, he doesn't even have... How do I... What do I do? What do I do? Does he gleam? He has Luring Voice. Luring Voice does... Luring Voice would kill me. This is a bad spot. I Encore, Encore, Encore. This is a really weird spot. Freeze Dry. +1. Okay, Freeze Dry wouldn't kill. It wouldn't kill anyway. So if I go cure him, I never kill him. I literally never kill him. All right, this is a weird situation. This is really weird. Go for Take Heart. So my play here is like I just gotta stay in here and burn Encore so that I can Parasong. That's like all I got. If I get a freeze, that'd be even better. Yeah, if I go cure him, I never kill him. If I want to hard cure him in Alluring Voice, and if he just clicked Alluring Voice, period, I lost. So this is my only play. It also remains me seeing like what if he even has a move for me, because he was Terra Fairy. But like why wouldn't you click it there? Okay, Alluring Voice. Okay, this is interesting. What's going on here? This is strange. This is really strange. This is very strange. What is going on here? I guess I Encore, right? Let's see. Does he Take Heart? He goes for Learning Voice. Okay. Yeah, okay. I wonder if I'm missing something. What am I missing? So, we got Freeze right here. We never kill. We don't kill. So, I need to get a freeze, basically. I need to get a freeze. Or a crit. A freeze or a crit. That'd be nice. What a frustrating game. This is very frustrating. He freezes. What a frustrating game. That was very frustrating. I got too cute in the builder, admittedly. It should not have mattered, though. It literally should not have mattered. At least we were able to work at least the differential got worked down to a 1-0. GG. Whatever. We're 2-1. We'll get next week. No problem. No problem. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed, and see ya.